Hi everyone and welcome to my channel Hisame Artwork. I do comic and video game related stuff, and this video is going to be a bit long, but I hope that I'll answer all of your questions. But if I missed any, please write them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them in the next update video. So one question that I get very often is this a mod? Yes, this is a mod for the video game Stardew Valley. It is a Ghibli themed mod and a new location and many new NPCs and quests. So for example, here is Ariete from The Secret Life of Ariete, I think is the English translation of it. Maybe some of you will remember this Ghibli film. And she's going to run the local supermarket. We do plan to have a different price system for it. So there's a mod that will allow us to support mod that will allow us to give it different prices, and we're thinking like if you pay, because you're going to have to get a train ticket to go to Ghibli town, and if you pay that it should be worthwhile than, for example, selling pickled cabbage or milk or eggs or things like that at better prices than you would in Pelican Town. And you can see here her NPC and the shop, and here's going to be her house, and we're going to have a basement down there below. The house is pretty empty at the moment. It's obviously still a work in progress. This mod is a long way away from being done, which is another question. Is this mod done? No, I'm sorry, it's not. I know we've been working a long time on it, but it's so much to do, and it's just me, Trent, and sometimes Eros helps us whenever he can. All the people that have contributed to this mod, donated textures and things like that, will be listed in the mod description once it's up on Nexus Mods. We are going to only publish our mods on Nexus, so please only download them from there. The Nexus guarantees no viruses and safety of that. Other questions we've gotten is which NPCs are going to be marriageable. So many of you probably know already a lot of the Ghibli films. A lot of the protagonists are teenage girls, so probably we'll only do the adults. For example, Howl has been a big request from Howl's Moving Castle. He is an adult. But he is with Sophie, so we're gonna try and do a kind of a let me just turn the time so it's a bit earlier. Oh, our sound of ambience has gone. Anyway, there's still a lot of bugs to do this. It's not even early access or alpha or anything like that. It's like half done at best. So we're gonna try and see, depending on how limiting the coding is, we're gonna try and do kind of a love triangle drama where you can be evil and steal Hal from Sophie, but remains to be seen if we can do that. But no face should be no problem in making him a marriageable candidate. It's going to be like pretty standard. There are a lot of various cats and supernatural creatures in the Ghibli stories, so we're going to try and see if we can do that. A lot of people have asked for Totoro to be a marriage candidate. Marriageable NPC, sorry. The issue is that he's very big, so in order to keep that lower part in the game, he would have to be 2 tiles wide. And if he's 2 tiles wide, then it's a two-tiled NPC, and there are issues with making that marriageable coding wise. Like Yubaba again is gonna be 2 tiles. And at the moment we don't know how to do 2-tile NPCs. We've seen that it is possible, but we're still working on the coding for that, so it's hopefully possible. How many NPCs are we going to have? Oh, NPC, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 45, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. We might cut some out. We might make a lot of them non-friendable NPCs, so that should be easier on the list when it comes with relationships, because there are already a lot of them. So if we add another 30 or 40 or who knows how many other NPCs, it's gonna be a bit tricky. At the moment, we only have 3 NPCs added to the map. Let me show you the other ones. Oh, so a lot of the textures have been either donated or made for this by friends. For example, Sonrier, who did the Japanese building mod, also helped me with Kiki's Bakery and Arieti's shop, which you saw. So here is Mr. Miyazaki, his back is turned, and here is Trent. So Trent is doing the coding for this mod, the amazing Trent. You will be able to talk to him and befriend him here on in this mod. I don't know if he'll be a marriage candidate. I will not, because I'm already married and I'll be in Hisame Plaza selling goods with my husband, who's going to be selling bikes and things like that. Here's Trent's home. It's pretty bare because it's just a skeleton at the moment. There are also a bunch of features that we don't know if we'll be able to implement. For example, seasonality and flooding an area. So the map is gonna change pretty drastically, and we need to figure out a way to do that. So I think seasonality is not gonna be in the initial launch, also because there's gonna be so much texture I'll need to do for each season. Another feature that we would like to add is a clock that's going to show you the luck next day, or the luck that is during the day you are visiting here, and a clock that's gonna show the weather tomorrow. Since at the moment we don't know how to do that coding wise, we're just going to say it's been closed to maintenance or vandalism by tourists, because this is going to be a tourist town, kind of like I don't know. I took a lot of inspiration from Takayama with the canals of koi fish going around the village. We visited Takayama a few years ago, and I really loved the fact that they had koi fish in canals kind of going in between the houses. I thought that was just amazing. And I'm gonna try and do that here as well. They're going to be animated, but we're hoping that you will also be able to fish in these canals, but it's pretty narrow, so most likely this pond here is where you'll be able to fish some koi. Maybe have one that you can feed. We need to still see like what we can do with the coding. There are a lot of things that might not be possible without a lot of help. But fortunately, the Stardew Valley community has been very nice, and Trent has had a lot of help in making all of this possible that you see here right now. There will be multiple entry points into Ghibli Town. The train, maybe the bus, and maybe a warp totem. We don't know exactly for sure. We would like to interfere with the vanilla map of Stardew Valley least as little as possible, so I think the cat bus will not necessarily be made. If we can do it like an optional thing, because I know other people are using the bus station map for a lot of things, so We only want to interfere with the train station map, the one with the bathhouse. Generally, there are less mods that are using that from what I've seen on Nexus. We would like to be as compatible as possible with all the mods, like for example, Kaya has a lot of yummy food mods, and I've been talking with her on Discord server. So as well, if you're a modder or you want to help us with the workload on this, either way you can find us in the Discord server. Link will be in the description below. Okay, let's see what other questions you guys had. The NPCs I've answered. Multiplayer. Will it be multiplayer friendly and people be able to play multiplayer this mod? I'm certainly hoping that it will be possible. That is our goal. We've had issues with the Mermaid Island with the multiplayer because we put it as a condition to do some stuff in the community center, and that was interfering with the multiplayer, to my understanding. Again, I do not do the coding on this mod, Trent does, and it's just kind of what I understand from what he explains. I'm kind of passing it along to you guys, so we removed that condition. I have written and planned a pretty extensive quest to be able to get to Ghibli Town to make it challenging, interesting, and fun, but if that is too much of a complication coding wise for multiplayer, we might do separate versions. I'm not sure. I think it would be too much maintenance to do that. Initially, 3 years ago, I started on a project for the desert mod, which was supposed to be this whole new location within the desert or somewhere else, and be just this new big town, oriental desert themed, and that fell apart. I still have the textures I made for it and the characters and all of that, so maybe at some point that will be a mod, but highly unlikely, because Trent said that he can only help me with the Ghibli mod because it is so much work to manage, update, fix all the bugs whenever Smappy or Stardew Valley updates. All of these things break, so it's probably just gonna be Ghibli Town, and we'll try and see what can and can't be done and keep it at a manageable size. Which brings us to another question: map locations. So I had the main map, mountain, beach, sewers, secret woods, dungeons. So it's like oh, and it's gonna be the suburbs because we need to separate, maybe or not, the maps for the train and teleportation and things like that. And also there wasn't enough room on this map to put all the NPCs that I wanted, so might have to like separate them and only keep them on certain maps so that the mod in the game still loads reasonably. So I guess 6 locations at the moment. We'll see what happens. It is pretty complicated to make all of this stuff work. We're trying our best, of course, and if you wish to help us, if you're good at coding, I think it's called C#, I think the Stardew Valley game is made, so hard coding Stardew Valley would be much obliged. Another question I keep getting asked is, are you the mermaid author, Mermaid Island mod? Yes, me and Trent, we did that as guinea pig, as a test. Oh, the ambience is back. Because we wanted to do Ghibli Town and have whole new fish locations to be able to fish. And we have a whole bunch of new magical fish now planned. Like, we kind of try and keep for the more new fish for Pelican Town real life fish, and tropical fish from Mermaid Island, and we're going to try and do now sea dragons and other magical sea creatures for Ghibli Town. So we're kind of trying to separate that to make it interesting. And like I said, we did Mermaid Island to have a shop that works, to have NPCs that can have hard events, and have a quest to enter the area. That was a fail in the end because it didn't work in multiplayer. So again, we'll try and do our best for it, for Ghibli Town. Will it be compatible with X mod? Oh, we keep getting asked, will it be compatible with this mod or that mod or the other mod? Our aim is that it will be compatible with any mod, but in some mods it might need to have a collaboration with the modder. For example, if we're both using the Bathhouse area and we're changing the map, you might need to be able to talk with that modder and make sure that they override and work okay. I will do minimal changes to the Bathhouse area. I'm just going to add a tile that will give you train tickets. At least that's my goal. If it will require to have other things, I'm not sure at the moment because I'm not a programmer, so I'm just kind of trying to accommodate for everything. And hopefully it all works out. Will this work on Switch? No. If other mods don't work on the Switch, this won't either. Oh, I've been talking for so long. I said this video is gonna take a long time, I'm sorry. Another question I get asked a lot, how to do mods, you're so amazing, what do you use to make this? So, I've personally used Photoshop to make the textures and Tiled to do the bin files, as you can see here. I wouldn't say that Photoshop is the best program to make I wouldn't say that Photoshop is the best program to make textures for a pixel art game, but as some of you have seen, I do books and comics and video games and board games and other things, and I usually use Clip Studio Paint, and if I need to Photoshop, I just don't have the time to learn another program just to make pixel art because it's not a priority. This is just a fun little hobby for me. I'm not making money from it. It's just because I love Stardew Valley so much, and I also love Ghibli a lot, so I really wanted to combine the two and get a selfie with pixel art Mr. Miyazaki. So that would be fun to have a hard event and ask him to take a selfie with you. I think it would be cute. So yeah, that's those are the programs that I use, and I think Trent uses maybe Notepad or something like that to do the coding for Stardew Valley. Not sure. I think you'll have to ask him. Will we be able to buy property in Ghibli Town? Yes, we're hoping that this house over here is going to be for sale, and I'm gonna change the texture here to have kind of like a terrace little farming area. So this is a tourist town, is not a farming village, so it wouldn't make much sense to have like this expansive area where you can farm industrially. I'm gonna try and do kind of like a cozy suburban home where you can do a bit of hobby gardening and maybe have a chicken coop or something like that, but nothing to the size of the original. First of all, I don't want to repeat what's going on in the game already, and also I think it would be really hard to manage two gigantic farms, so that one's gonna be probably a bit smaller if at all. And most of the town gets supplies, hopefully from the farmer that he comes to to Ghibli town and sells his produce. And also they have a greenhouse where they grow a lot of their foods and crops and things like that. So the town should be well supplied. This is going to be Nausicaa's castle. Here is going to be the path to the mountain map. She's also going to have a shop and also going to teach at the town hall. And this is going to be the entrance to the cemetery. I'm gonna have quests and secrets in there. This is the town hall. Is going to have a library, the school, and hopefully a working cinema, and hopefully it will be able to show Ghibli studio films here like you have at the cinema in Pelican Town. Hopefully we'll be able to have a museum and collect stuff, new items, like you have the museum in Pelican Town, and I'm hoping to have new items like butterflies and beetles and new rocks and maybe some new artifacts, Japanese type of artifacts. Here's going to be Zeniba, the Good Witch, the twin of Yubaba. Maybe some of you remember from Spirited Away. And this is going to be the house for her, Mr. Miyazaki, and the kitchen. And I'm trying to redo her kitchen from the anime. Everybody's gonna have a bathhouse because I think it's weird not to have a bathroom in your house. Here is not going anywhere, but I'm hoping to connect the two later on so that when you go to Nausicaa's house, you can come up the top over this bridge here. I really like the idea of verticality. Miyazaki played a lot with verticality in his films, and I would like to bring some of that as much as possible. And of course up here is going to be his studio, his art studio. Here is the bakery from Kiki's Delivery Service, and the texture was made by Sorir. At the moment you cannot enter it, but I am working on the insides of it. And a lot of other buildings, the Totoro fountain, the supermarket there you've already seen. Now I need to fill in these buildings back here. Here's gonna be Ernest's house. Now Ernest is a character from my comic books, because I just felt like I needed a policeman, because it is a tourist town, and if you got like wild tourists, you're gonna need somebody to tell them to keep it quiet or not disturb the public. And Ernest is a sheriff in my comics, so I just kind of imported him from there instead of using something from Ghibli, because I don't think there is any police officer in Ghibli. And of course is going to be another little character from my comics that is a scientist, just to kind of have something to balance out the magic for those of you that like science fiction like me. I think Maru is the best wife. I really do enjoy her, her dialogue, and I just wanted to have like a Maru-esque character in this village, and Demetrius, I also like him a lot. And here's going to be kind of like a local park that the kids can play in. There are gonna be a bunch of kids. This house here is going to be for a friend of mine, Keirani. She's just one of my biggest long-term supporters of my work, and so I just wanted to kind of reward her with a little house here and her kids. and to work with me at my little shop. Oh, Trent did a entrance for it? Don't remember, because this wasn't supposed to be done. Don't crash. Don't crash. No, I blocked it. Yeah, there's something wrong, because I don't have the... Shouldn't have entered. Okay, this is what happens when you don't remember what you did in your own mod. What does this button do? I should click on it. Nope. Okay, other questions. How to do mod? I answered that. Will we be able to buy property? Answered it. How long to make all of this? Well, I have been working on this for 2 years, going on 3, I think. It's been a slow progress, simply because it took me such a long time to find a programmer to help me with all of this, and our collaboration started with More New Fish, if you guys remember. That was the first one. This entrance here, ignore it. It's not gonna be the same. This is gonna be the beach entrance. And here's gonna be a sewer, and it's gonna be mystery entrance, like in Pelican Town, I think. We'll see what we do exactly. And here the water, this area is gonna be floodable, and with I wanna make a field of wheat and poppies, because I just love the combination. And then you're probably gonna be able to pass through there and come out the other way. And when it's floodable, I don't think we'll be able to make workable boats that you can use, but it's something that we're hoping for. And like I said, then we did Mermaid Island. And once we saw that we could do it, the next step was Ghibli Town, because it's like so much bigger than Mermaid Island, but in principle it's the same thing. NPCs, hard events, new locations, shops. And here I'm hoping to do Poppy Hill. Maybe some of you remember the film. It's really fun. I enjoyed it. It's a bit melodramatic, but I like the whole atmosphere of it. Of course, Porco Rosso, lots of fun. This hanger was donated by Ollie's Flowers, I think. Both Ollie and Amy's textures are now with Minerva under her administration. Oh, these are not on the right layer. Still a lot of work to do. That's gonna be some sort of area that's gonna suck the water down below to the mines, and we should be able to do custom monsters and new locations down there, and hoping everything works. Of course, the famous bathhouse from Spirited Away. We're hoping we'll be able to do all the hard events for what was her name? Chihiro, sorry, Chihiro. And have changes to the work hours of it, like for example you have with Pierre. Because initially she'll be working like really bad hours, because Yubaba is a horrible boss. And we're hoping that after, you know, you save Chihiro, she'll still be working there, even though in the original story she doesn't anymore, but we'll keep her for this story to keep working at the bathhouse, just that she'll have like more decent working hours, not so soul crushing. Other question was about what quests will we have. Well, a lot of quests. Not sure all of them will be able to be done, but I would say the most important quest will be entrance to Ghibli, And we're hoping that you will save Muta the cat. If you remember from Cat Returns, there's this cat that leads you to the world of cats, and we're hoping it'll be like frozen in stone or something like that, and you set him free, and then as a thank you, you know, he allows you to prove that you're worthy to go to Ghibli Town. And what conditions we can program for that, we're not sure yet. Ideally you'll be able to check and see if you know, you're a nice person, like for example you've helped NPCs or done billboard quests, or I don't know, we find some way to evaluate the farmer's achievement, kind of like how Grandpa has some conditions for you to get the statue. We're hoping to implement something like that, and then once you fulfill those conditions, you can enter Ghibli Town and be able to buy tickets to Ghibli Town, actually. Another quest line, I really enjoyed the character of the witch from Pelican Town. If you've seen on my blog, I did do a little bit of comic book with some fan fiction about the wizard and the witch's early life when they were happily married, and then how that went along and how that was. So I would try and do something more about the witch and kind of the farmer helping out with her parole or her punishment or something like that. I have various kind of hard event ideas. I'm not sure which one we'll be able to implement. If we can do kind of like a trial and then have some conditions that can be met, we'll see. Another big quest event line would be Ghibli Town to be in danger from a NPC, and you having to stop that NPC and save the town. And if you fail to have the town destroyed, and you lose access to Ghibli Town because it was destroyed. Now, we kind of have been talking together, and Trent disliked the idea of losing access to it, so I've been thinking you lose access only if you stick your nose where it shouldn't be, and you also fail to defeat the enemy. So if you don't go in the sewers to follow the quest, and then you wouldn't trigger that event happening if you don't go snooping around. But if you go snooping around, if you have like level 10 combat, it should be easy to defeat the enemy and save the town. So we're kind of trying to think of a way to have a quest that is both challenging and fun, but also no severe real consequences that will like make people too sad. So I think if you don't like the combat aspect of Stardew Valley, then if you don't go snooping around the mines, you should be safe from triggering any apocalyptic events. And then of course all of the NPCs will have their little heart events, and some of them will give you quests to fetch things or help out or fix certain things. And yeah, I think that covers all of the questions that I've gotten so far from people that are following me on Facebook and Discord and Twitch, and I'm also on Twitter. Hopefully I didn't forget to tell you or show you guys anything. At the moment, only this main map is being worked on, but once I get this to a near final version, I will start working on the other maps. And yeah, hopefully we'll get more NPCs done. Oh, the music. Yeah, better not forget about that. So we've had 2 people that have tried to do more pixel arty Stardew Valley-ish renditions of songs from the Ghibli films, but it's proven a bit too difficult for them, and they have since retired from trying to accomplish that. So if any of you are good at making music and you think you can help us out, please do. We would love to have music that fits the Stardew Valley aesthetic but is reminiscent of Ghibli films theme songs, because I think it would just add a lot to the atmosphere and the heart events and just the mood of the interiors of the houses. And yeah, I think that's what I wanted to tell you guys so far. Of course, I am a fan of many other films and things like that, so I have included a bunch of Easter eggs, and I'll keep including Easter eggs and things like that, fun for you guys to find out. Seasonality is something that we're planning on to have. Seasonality for the outdoors especially, and have like festivals, at least one festival each season. It is going to be a lot of coding to do, so if anybody wants to help out with that, please reach out to us. And yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you're as excited as I am for this mod. It is a slow progress, but we're getting there slowly but surely. And hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye bye.